Have you noticed there is a recurring pattern in your relationships? This temporary disappearance that you justify as reflection could just be a way of avoiding the truth. When you step away, it's often to not face the reality surrounding you. It's your mind trying to protect you from something it already knows. This cycle needs to be broken. The feeling of needing space may seem healthy, but it can actually be an escape. If you feel overwhelmed by empty conversations and superficial interactions, that is not normal. It's a sign that something is not right. Stress, confusion, and emotional pain accumulate, and you wonder if it's worth continuing this way. What you feel is not a weakness. It's a legitimate response to situations that drain your energy. You might be afraid to confront the people around you, but that only perpetuates the cycle of pain. The truth is that you are not alone in this feeling. Many others also feel lost in the midst of toxic relationships, but you need to recognize that change starts with you. It's important to look inward and understand what's happening. You need to identify the beliefs that keep you tethered to these dynamics. Fear of rejection, belief that you don't deserve better, or even past traumas might be shaping your decisions. These thoughts do not define who you are, but they may be guiding you to where you don't want to go. Now, it's time to wake up. You need to face the truth. Change only happens when you decide to act. Look around and ask yourself, who is truly by your side? If the answer is a handful of people who do not support you, it's time to redefine those ties. The choice is yours, and you don't need to feel trapped anymore. If you have come this far, consider this a sign that it's time to make decisions that promote your well-being. Your peace and self-love are at stake, and you deserve to live free from illusions. Do not ignore what is happening. You are stronger than you imagine and capable of creating the life you desire. Have you ever stopped to think about how the people around you truly affect your life? Every interaction you have, every conversation you partake in, should be a reflection of what you value. If you feel drained, it is a clear sign that some of these relationships need to be reassessed. Do not be afraid to analyze who is around you and how this impacts your emotional well-being. Superficial interactions can create an environment of disconnection. You may be surrounded by many people, but true connection is rare. If you often find yourself in conversations that bring no value, it may be an indication that it is time to seek more meaningful relationships. Ask yourself, are these people lifting you up or bringing you down? This kind of reflection can be painful, but it is necessary. It is common to feel guilty for wanting to distance yourself from people who do not offer support. This guilt may be rooted in a desire to please others or a belief that you must maintain relationships regardless of how they affect you. However, you are not responsible for anyone's happiness but your own. Therefore, prioritizing your needs is not selfish, it is self-care. The first step to this change is creating awareness. Try to jot down your daily interactions and how they make you feel. Do you feel energized after a conversation with someone, or do you feel drained? This simple exercise can bring clarity about which relationships are beneficial and which are harmful. Recognizing patterns is fundamental. After identifying the relationships that no longer serve you, it is necessary to take action. This could mean limiting your contact with these people or, in some cases, cutting those ties completely. It can be difficult, especially if these relationships have been present in your life for a long time. But remember, change brings growth. Confronting someone about how you feel can be a challenging task, but it is an essential part of the process. Prepare yourself for these dialogues. Be honest about how certain interactions affect you. It is not a matter of attacking the other person, but of expressing your emotions and the need to establish boundaries. This conversation can be liberating and pave the way for a deeper understanding. Often, what prevents us from acting is fear. Fear of how people will react, fear of being alone, or fear that change will not bring the desired results. But it is essential to understand that the true fear is staying in a situation that is harming you. What you should really fear is stagnation. Your inner peace should always be a priority. If you do not feel safe or loved in your relationships, this can have a direct impact on your self-esteem. You need to remember that you deserve relationships that reflect this. Rejection is a possibility, but the rejection of people who are not aligned with your well-being is a step toward a healthier and happier future. Moreover, it is essential to cultivate relationships that elevate you. Connect with people who share similar values, who encourage your growth, and who are willing to support your decisions. This type of connection can bring a renewed sense of belonging and acceptance. Remember, it is not just about eliminating what does not serve you. It is also about attracting what is positive. Another aspect to consider is how you see yourself within these relationships. Often, we are our own worst critics. If you feel inadequate or constantly question your worth, it will impact your interactions. Work on your self-confidence. Look at your accomplishments, even the small ones. You need to remember that you are worthy of love and respect, both from yourself and from others. Also, consider seeking professional support, such as therapy or support groups. A professional can help you unravel deeper issues that may be tied to these relationship patterns. Sometimes, an outside perspective can provide valuable insights and strategies to deal with the challenges you face. And finally, be patient with yourself. Change does not happen overnight. You might feel the need to reevaluate your relationships several times throughout your life. Each stage brings new lessons and opportunities for growth. Allow yourself to go through this process without rushing. What you are experiencing now might not be what you want for the future. Therefore, take the reins of your life. Make choices that lead you to clarity and well-being. In the end, remember that you have the power to shape your reality. Transformation begins when you decide you deserve something better. If you have made it this far, it is a clear sign. A sign that it is time to act and seek the life you truly desire. Do not ignore this opportunity. You are stronger than you think and capable of creating relationships that truly matter. It is time to live in harmony with yourself and with those around you. Sometimes you might feel stuck in a cycle of relationships that do not bring happiness. It is natural to want to keep the peace and avoid conflicts, but this should not come at the cost of your emotional health. If you constantly feel exhausted after interactions, it's a clear sign that you need to reassess your support network. This is not just a matter of comfort, it's a matter of mental health. Start by analyzing your interactions. Ask yourself, are the people you surround yourself with contributing to your growth or just taking up space? If the answer is the latter, it may be time to consider the impact these relationships have on your life. Relationships that drain your energy are not sustainable. They can lead to emotional exhaustion, affecting your ability to focus on other important areas of your life. Additionally, be aware that how you communicate can influence the dynamics of these relationships. If you tend to submit to others' wills or avoid confrontations, this can create an environment ripe for manipulation. People may start to realize that you don't set boundaries, and as a result, they may take advantage of this. It is essential to be clear about your needs and expectations. Setting boundaries is an act of self-love. This doesn't mean you should be rude or aggressive, but rather that you should be firm and assertive. Make it clear when an interaction is not acceptable or when you don't feel comfortable. This can be done calmly, yet firmly. Honest communication is key to healthy relationships. You might be afraid of losing people by setting these boundaries, but the truth is that true relationships are strengthened by honesty. Those who genuinely care about you will respect your decisions and support your growth. If someone cannot handle your boundaries, it may be an indication that the relationship isn't as healthy as it appears. Throughout the process of reassessment, don't forget to take care of yourself. Engage in activities that make you feel good, that bring joy and satisfaction. This can include everything from physical exercises to hobbies you love. The more you dedicate yourself to yourself, the clearer it becomes what you truly desire in your relationships. Self-exploration is a vital part of personal growth and can help you better understand your emotional needs. Now, also consider the influence of social media on your life. Online interactions can be superficial and might not reflect the depth you seek in relationships. If you feel pressured to maintain connections just for appearances or because of what others think, this can be a trap. Evaluate whether your digital connections are helping or hurting you. The virtual world can be deceptive, and you should prioritize quality over quantity. Once you have identified the relationships that are not serving your well-being, start to take action. This can involve difficult conversations, but remember that it's a necessary step. If you realize that a friendship is not beneficial, talk to the person. Explain your concerns and how you feel. Often, people are not aware of the impact of their actions on others. If the conversation does not lead to a change, or if the relationship continues to affect you negatively, consider distancing yourself. This can be hard, especially if the person has been part of your life for a long time. However, seeking inner peace and emotional well-being should be your priority. Sometimes, distancing is the best solution to preserve your mental health. Remember that changes do not happen overnight. It is a process that requires patience and self-compassion. You may face challenges along the way, but each step taken towards your well-being is a step in the right direction. Focus on being kind to yourself during this journey. If you feel you need help, do not hesitate to seek professional support. A therapist can help you explore your emotions and better understand your relationship patterns. They can offer tools and strategies to cope with difficult situations and to strengthen your self-confidence. External support can be a great ally in the transformation you wish to achieve. In the meantime, continue to surround yourself with people who uplift you. Seek connections that inspire you and are aligned with your values. Healthy relationships should nourish, not drain. Be open to new friendships and interactions that may arise. The world is full of people who can add value to your life, but you need to be willing to open up to these experiences. As you move forward, practice gratitude. Acknowledge the good things in your life and the people who truly matter. This can help create a positive mindset and attract more healthy relationships. Gratitude is a powerful force that can change your perspective and bring more joy to your daily life. Finally, remember that you are worthy of love and respect. Do not settle for less than that. Every step you take towards healthier relationships is an investment in yourself. You deserve to be surrounded by people who support you and make you feel good. Transformation takes time, but the reward is worth it. Trust the process and know that you have the strength necessary to shape the life you desire. Do not ignore the signs that life gives you. They are your guide to a healthier and happier future. If you feel stuck in a cycle of unsatisfactory relationships, it is crucial to understand that change requires action. The first step is to acknowledge that you are dissatisfied and that this dissatisfaction should not be ignored. Ask yourself, what is really preventing me from seeking healthier relationships? Often the answer lies in limiting beliefs that have formed over the course of your life. These beliefs may have roots in past experiences or in messages you have internalized. It is common to believe that you do not deserve healthy relationships, but this idea needs to be confronted. Remember that you have the right to be treated with respect and dignity. This perception can be the turning point you need. Additionally, it is essential to develop a growth mindset. This means you should be open to learning from every interaction, whether positive or negative. Each experience brings valuable lessons. Instead of feeling defeated by relationships that do not work out, see them as opportunities to better understand what you really desire. The interactions that do not add value to your life should be carefully analyzed. If someone frequently makes comments that diminish your self-esteem or make you feel bad, that is a clear sign that this relationship needs to be reviewed. Do not hesitate to express how you feel. An honest conversation can clarify misunderstandings and strengthen bonds, or confirm that it is time to move on. Sometimes the fear of losing a friendship or relationship can be paralyzing, but it is crucial to understand that maintaining a toxic connection only brings more pain. The choice to walk away may be difficult, but your mental and emotional health should be your priority. If a relationship does not bring joy or support, it may be dragging you down, and that is not something you need to carry. In the process of reevaluation, be attentive to your own emotions. How do you feel during and after these interactions? If the majority of your relationships leave you exhausted or confused, it is time to change. The quality of your connections is more important than the quantity. Focus on cultivating relationships that make you feel good about yourself. When seeking new connections, consider what you value in a relationship. This can include honesty, mutual support, and respect. By surrounding yourself with people who share these values, you create a more positive and nurturing environment. Be open to new friendships, and do not be afraid to distance yourself from those who do not align with what you are seeking. And do not forget to take care of yourself during this process. Practice self-care, which can include meditation, exercise, or hobbies that bring you happiness. When you dedicate time to yourself, it becomes easier to notice what really benefits you in relationships. One often neglected aspect is communication. The way you express yourself can deeply influence your interactions. If you tend to avoid conflicts or do not set boundaries, this can create an environment conducive to the perpetuation of toxic relationships. Be clear about what you need and expect from others. Assertive communication is a skill that can be developed and can transform your relationships. Saying no when necessary is a sign of self-awareness and self-respect. Don't be afraid to stand your ground. This can even strengthen bonds with those who truly care about you. Finally, be attentive to your emotional needs. Reflect on what you really seek in a friendship or relationship. Sometimes, people enter our lives for specific reasons, but not everyone is meant to stay. Evaluate whether your relationships are aligned with your aspirations and your well-being. The changes you're seeking may require time and effort, but remember that every step counts. Transformation is not a linear process. There will be ups and downs. The important thing is to keep moving in the direction of a healthier and more satisfying life. You deserve that. Life is too short to be surrounded by people who do not add value. Prioritize those who make you feel good and seek to cultivate relationships that truly matter. Your well-being should be your priority. Before you leave, do two things now. Take a deep breath and hold on to what touched your heart today. And if it makes sense, share this story with someone who also needs to hear it.